I am that I am. Saint Germain in service to humanity. I welcome you all here to this gathering this evening. I know many of you have questions, for we live in turbulent times. But take heart, for it is that each and every one of you sitting here is here because you are reaching for something greater. You are moving beyond the confines of what has been defined as being human. You are moving beyond that which you have been told you are. I acknowledge that it has been painful, particularly in the last few months. 2015 has brought some turbulent energies that will strip you back to who you actually are. For you see, all that you see yourself to be at this present moment is an illusion. You've all had glimpses. You have all felt it. Your true essence, the I am. But none of you have held it, for you fall back into your human ways. At present, the collective human consciousness is like a web, and it has many, many souls on this planet ensnared. You yourselves have managed to climb out partially of the web. This entanglement has brought great pain and suffering, but it need not be. For many of you have walked this earth since the time of Atlantis. Many of you have walked beyond that. Many of you have come from other planets. And it is this collective consciousness that draws in souls. And they get stuck. They get caught up. For the human experience can be a beautiful one. But there are so many layers upon layers upon layers of false concepts and beliefs that have built up over time, that have built up with the rising of the church, with monotheism, although it had great wisdom, for we all do come from the one seed. It was misconstrued. And instead of realizing that the spark of God itself, for there is no gender, is in each and every one of you. This monotheism referred to the oneness of all, not a separate being. It referred to you. And this was the message that Jesus tried to relate. This is the message that was meant to bring peace. But with the Piscean age, there was great need for power. And this power warped. It brought everyone into a deep, deep dream. And it is now that you are all awakening from that dream. So this pain, this turbulence that you have all been feeling, the ups and downs, the falling away, the ending of relationships, the ending of jobs, places you live, friendships, it is all part of the realization of the I am. For anything that holds up its false sense of who you feel you are cannot exist in this current energy, and it cannot exist in a being and a soul who is starting to awaken. I acknowledge that this has been painful for many of you, but I also have seen the great light and the leaps forward many of you have made in your understanding and your coming to clarity. I dare say that this may shock some of you, but even that which is called New Age is dead. For it also builds up that which are false perceptions of self. If you wish to have understanding, if you wish to keep walking the path of ascension, then you must let all of that fall away. Astrology, although has its place in this reality, in this realm, is no more of an understanding of yourself than it is of another being or God, which, remember, is you. Is not only astrology, it is crystals, it is the occult, it is anything outside of yourself that you bring to yourself that you feel gives you power. But it is now time to realize that you yourself hold that power. You don't need any of these physical objects, particularly now with the energies as they are, these new energies that are coming to Earth, the wave of the new Aquarian age, although ironically is astrological, is bringing with it also these energies which are going to break away. It's about breaking away that which masks your true nature. Earth is going to face some great challenges. Much of the old structures are going to fall. But this is a good thing, although hard to live in at present, because we are already seeing these structures falling away. It will ultimately lead to a new dawn of aware beings. For it has been in the past that awareness could not coexist on this planet. But now, those who are aware, the angelics, the higher beings, are beginning to incarnate on this planet. And with the light that people like yourselves carry, we are starting to see a snowball effect of light, of awakening. And this can be uncomfortable to those who are not following that path. It is often misconceived that one who is aware will also bring forth awareness and enlightenment straight away in another. This is not the case. What you do with your light is you shine on the darkness that they do not want to see. You illuminate their shadow, and that will cause them to either break through, to fear, or to anger. And it is not you and your place to say which is right or wrong, for it is all experience. It is all about experience, and we must honor those who wish to have the experience of being in that illusion. This is your sovereign journey, and no one else can walk it for you, and you can't walk it for others. So allow yourself to move into your awakening. It is time to put down the struggle, because it is right there. You just need to clean the window. Does anyone have any questions they wish to ask? There's one person with a question.
Will you be coming down to the planet?
No. My services are better rendered from where I am, through talking to those who will let me speak through them. I have walked many lifetimes, and I am just here as a guide. I cannot bring anyone's enlightenment. I can just create signposts and beacons. I feel this is a great lesson for many on this path right now, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, but the spark, the light, the I am is you. Everything else around that is a costume. It is a mask. And the problem is when you get confused and caught up in your own illusion of what yourself is. And when that happens, you reach outwards. If I meditate, if I eat a certain way, if I create certain habits, it's all outside of you. None of that matters at the end of the day. You just come back within. You all need to stop searching outside of yourself for what is already there. Just bring it back. Bring it back. Breathe into it. Breathe into that space. Your I am. For until you reach inside of yourself, you will keep walking the same paths, the same cycles that you've created for lifetimes. And a part of you also enjoys this game. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with your humanity. There is nothing wrong with being human. And I think many on this planet often feel guilt for this, which is not necessary. It was something indoctrinated in through many warped teachings of religions. But Earth is sacred. You are sacred. The lives you live are sacred. The difference being, can you be an aware being and fully live in the experience of being a human? That is the real beauty. There's nothing wrong with being on Earth. The problem is you forgot who you were and you got stuck. And now is the time to come back. As many of you have lifetimes you still want to create here, but you'll be doing it as an aware being. You'll be holding the light. Things are coming around full circle for the planet now. There are many puzzle pieces missing from history, but there was such a time when Earth was in harmony, where we were aware of our sovereignty, when we were aware of who we actually were. And it was in this that Earth was a beautiful landscape of creation. You created whatever your hearts desired. And now, because of the old programming of the mind, of layers of misconception, it is no longer a beautiful landscape of creation for many. For many it is, but they do not realize the depth of their power for creation. And they do not realize within themselves how deserving and how worthy they are of living the lives that they wish to live. They must keep coming back to their center, for this is where that worthiness and that love of themselves and the sacredness of all will begin to make itself clear. There's no need for fear. For many, fear holds them back. But I say, walk through that fire. Walk through it. And you'll see on the other side yourself illumined, and all that which hasn't served you in ashes on the floor behind you. It is necessary if this planet is going to survive as you know it today. Many of you have been very hard upon yourselves. Too hard, pushing too hard. Remember that it is effortless. There is no need for struggle. You simply allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to fall into that which you are. Allow it. Stop fighting for it. And also know that any of these so-called negative emotions are just another part of the all. There's nothing wrong with fear, there's nothing wrong with sadness, there's nothing wrong with anger. There's only something wrong with it when you get stuck in it, when you believe your own story. For no story you tell yourself, unless it is I am, is actually true. It is an experience, and that is all. So please do start to view your time here on this planet as a playground, as a beautiful place for expansion and creation. There are many things on this planet that you can't do in other realms. Remember that, savor it, and stop being so hard upon yourself about what you're doing and what you're not doing. For that doesn't serve you, and that isn't in service to yourself or to your own creations. Everything you experience is your creation, and once you take responsibility for that, but do not judge yourself for that, then change will start to occur. It is always helpful to be gentle and have the ability to laugh at yourself as well. Not in a mean way, but in a jovial way. Laugh. Breathe. You can't do that in the spirit realms. Even just the act of a breath is so sacred. It's full of life. Savor it. And do not feel that the things that you once took pleasure in still have to give you pleasure. That is something a lot of people on this planet are feeling right now. And it is all part of the shifting and the process of coming back to who you are. If what used to bring you joy does not anymore, then that's okay. It is your time to explore, your time to look at the blank canvas and decide, what do I want to do? And if you don't want to know what you want to do either, then that's okay as well. Have the experience of that. Allow it all to unfold. It is okay to not know. In fact, it is good to not know, as those who know are so caught up in their own little sets of rules and regulations and ideas and beliefs that they can't see the actual truth through all of it. They can't see the light because they're too caught up in that which is not, although they see it as truth. I am that I am. That is all. I am that I am. Breathe into it. Have the experience. Feel with this group, I must stress the importance of understanding the sacred. Many of you have lived lifetimes of being told that you're less than. That's the simple act of being born makes you somehow evil, that it somehow makes you dirty, unclean, that a certain gender or way of being is wrong. It is not so. And so many of you carry that It's a burden on your back that you do not need anymore. Take it off. Get it all off of you. And understand that every single experience is sacred. The good, the bad, good. There's no real separation. Although when you do come to your realization, you will see that beauty. It's all relative, all of it. One last point to be received. It involves the mind. The mind, when we created it, was simply to perceive that which was around you and guide you to the next best possible course of action. You can think of it like a computer. It receives information and then it will give you an answer. But the mind, particularly as the energies start to come in now, cannot cope. It cannot understand anything that is going on in the spiritual realms. It doesn't have that capacity. All it can process is that in this physical dimension. People give a lot of power to the mind, and it is not the mind that creates. You are the force behind the mind. You are the light behind the mind. You must understand this, particularly as there have been those who follow the ideas and the concepts that if I think enough about something, I will bring it into being. That is not the case. You come back to your sovereign self. You come back to your I am, to your heart space, to you, and you effortlessly allow it to unfold. I invite you all to close your eyes. Take a deep, cleansing breath. No more worry. The worry exists in the mind. No more judgment. That is another false concept of the mind. Allow yourself to be. If there was one thing Spirit could say to 99% of the people on this planet is leave yourself alone. Allow yourself to be. It's okay. You are perfect just as you are. Stop trying so hard. Stop striving. Relax into yourself. And it'll all fall into place anyway. And if it doesn't fall into place how you perceived it to, it doesn't matter, because the human perception is so narrow. It is here, but really what is going on is out here. There is so much more to the picture, and particularly when you're caught in the mind cannot bring forth and perceive everything that is going on out here. Bring it all back in to yourself, to you, your center. Allow yourselves to be. No more judgment. You are right where you need to be. You are right where is perfect for you. Allow it. Breathe into it. It is sacred. This moment now is sacred. This moment, an hour from now, is sacred. It is all sacred. Even that which is perceived to be bad is sacred. Let yourself live it. Breathe it. Stop trying so hard. It will happen. And you will see your illumined self. Thank you for being present. Are there any questions before I leave?
Can you tell us more about the seventh ray?
The seventh ray is that of illumination. It is that of freedom. It ties in with that which we have spoken about in terms of that which is not of service to you is burning away. The false concepts are burning away. The violet flame comes through, and it has no judgment on what you perceive to want to keep or not keep. It will just enter your life, and it will burn away everything that does not serve you and everything that is an illusion and does not allow you to see the I am. It is of this ray that I walk. This is the ray of the Aquarian age, the age of freedom. The age where you will see the truth of yourself. If ever you feel that you are stuck, if ever you feel that you are not seeing what is real, if there's any point that you need clarity, call in the violet ray, the seventh ray, and it will burn up all the illusion and all that stops you from seeing your divinity. It is of divine clarity. That is the seventh ray. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have one more question. Is there a type of synthetic god that people are worshipping and they're not quite getting what God is?
Yes. The collective consciousness of beings can create other beings. They are non-souled beings. So once you create if there is enough energy behind it, if there is enough people believing in something and putting their focus and their attention on something, then yes, they can create something. Just as we can create other realms or other multiverses, universes, people can create beings. And yes, in other realms, and in this realm, people have created this being. It is not a souled being. When I say souled, it's that essence, the one, it's made up of energy that has been created by those who are with this soul. There are whole realms that other people get trapped in, realms that are attached to this earth, because they have been so focused and so caught up in their belief of something that it's actually created with others a collective realm, basically, that they get pulled into. So yes, synthetic is a good way of putting it, but then so is this. This isn't real either. Are there any more questions?
I have a question. Is there anything we can do over the next few months to help with the transition, with all the vibrational changes happening?
I know it sounds very simple, but please stay hydrated. Making sure you're drinking enough water is going to help cleanse your system. Water holds vibration. So if you're dehydrated and these energies are coming in, you're not going to be able to hold the energies very well. So make sure, because your bodies are tired. All of you are tired. And it's because it's having to bring in all of this energy, all of this input, and it takes a while for the body to catch up, because it's going deep down into a DNA cellular level. So, taking good care of your body, particularly making sure you keep it hydrated, will help with that, because often people will get down because they are because they're tired, they can't function in life. The other thing too is to just take quiet time. Allow yourself to sit with what's coming through. And I know for many it is easier said than done, but do hold that understanding that if things are falling away, if things are ending, then they're ending for a reason. They're ending because they do not serve your soul's purpose. So take heart in that. Know that everything has an ending in this realm. Everything. It is part of its sacredness and its cycles. And do know that this will lead on to the creation of greater things in your life. You need to create the space. So stay hydrated. Be quiet within yourself and just let the process happen. If you need to cry, cry. If you feel angry, feel angry. Go through the motions. Allow it. Don't get stuck on it though. Don't fixate. Just when it comes up, let it happen and then let it recede. And you'll find that you'll get more and more moments of clarity starting to come through all of the emotions and the physical symptoms and the aches and pains. Just sit with it. Allow it. Just breathe into it. Stop fighting it. Let it happen. And be gentle. A lot of the time, it is hard because a lot of the time humans have these set routines that we must stick to. We must do this at a certain time and be at this place at a certain time. allow that to fall away and allow a new routine and a new structure to appear in your life. If you feel tired, sleep. If you need to eat, eat. I know it sounds simple, but so many of you fight it. So many of you still drag yourselves out of bed. So many of you force yourselves into eating this or not eating that. Just let yourself be. Breathe. And it'll all start to feel less turbulent. Sit with it and allow. Are there any more questions? I thank you all for being present. Know that I do watch over you, and that if at any time you need my presence, call upon myself and I shall be there.